Okay, hi everyone, welcome back, and in this video we are going to check out Near Protocol's price chart, and this move on the upside right in here is now an insanely bullish sign because a lot happened during this phase up. First things first, let's go on some lower time frames and do some Elliott Wave count and see what is happening. Okay, so by the way, if you remember in the previous video, I think we were right in here and I was saying what you want to see in Near Protocol in order to be optimistic and bullish and say this is a correction and our move up from here is going to continue is a move on the upside in order to take this important high about, let's say, like $2.6. So I was saying if we take this high at that point, finding a complete impulse in this phase down is going to be extremely challenging, meaning this move is most likely going to continue and the 1-2 scenario that we are considering can be in play. So the moment that we took this high, I was like very confident about Near Protocol being absolutely bullish. Now, let's zoom on more and see what is happening. Okay, so first things first, between this low and also this one, which is the lowest low, this chart is from Binance, and as you can see, it seems like clearly this point is the lowest low. But let's check out some other charts because I think it's very important to understand what are we doing in here. What about Coinbase? Okay, no, this is actually still the lowest low. What about crypto.com? And yes, even in crypto.com, this is the lowest low. Now, why is this important? Because I think we can kind of safely say from this point to about here, we are having a beautiful and a strong impulse up into a wave 1, and this is probably an A, B, C flat to about this point into wave 2, and at the moment we might be on our way to have a good move up into wave 3 and 4 and 5, excuse me, something like this. And if I just go on 5-minute time frame, and by the way, in my own time I don't usually go on such lower time frames, but you know, this is for the sake of educational purposes, so I'm thinking it's fine. Okay, here is what's going on in my mind. I think you can argue maybe this is 5 wave up into a wave 1 to about this point, or maybe here not that important. Followed by that, we may have like an A, B, C in form of a running flat into wave 2, strong 5 up into wave 3, and there's a chance, a good chance actually, the current move is a correction for 4, and then we're gonna have another move into wave 5, and at that point this white 5 wave up is going to be into wave 3, and what are we going to have next? Well, if this is happening, correction for 4 and even yet another move on the upside into wave 5. Now, if you want to say this is a correction with a lot of confidence, you just have to wait a little bit more and see a move up in here in order to take this important high, because at that point I think we can all kind of safely agree that this is going to be just a simple ABC zigzag and not an impulse, indicating our move up is going to continue. So this is our Elliott Wave analysis for the short term, suggesting this move most likely at least is not over. And as long as I'm not proven otherwise, I am going to stick with this possibility. Now let's go on maybe 30-minute time frame and see what is happening. You see, in the previous videos about Near Protocol, we were saying as long as we are not taking this important low about like $1.9, we can argue we are having a series of 1-2s. This can be 5 up into 1, correction for wave 2, and what are we going to have next? Big move up into wave 3, 4, 5, and pay attention, this is the key. Because this is a very strong move on the upside, I can actually safely say this is most likely going to be into a wave 3. Why? Because one very important characteristic of a wave 3 is what? Being a rather strong and sharp move on the upside. So I'm gonna say this is wave 3, correction for 4, another move into 5, and then at that point this 5 wave up is gonna be maybe into wave 3, correction for 4, another move into wave 5, suggesting this move is going to most likely continue for quite a bit. Now, in terms of classic technical analysis, meaning support and resistances, in Near Protocol, we are approaching to a very important area of supply between 3.4 to about $3.6. And I believe, yes, this was from weekly and daily time frame at the same time. And I am really hoping that we are going to get a break of the resistance this time. Now, if you want to say this is broken, you need to go on weekly time frame and see an initial move above here, a candle close, and then pullback, followed by that a continuation of the move up. And if the bullish scenario is happening, well, okay, maybe this is going to be our initial move up, which in terms of Elliott waves is going to be into wave 3. Our pullback can be just a correction for 4, and then if we get another move into this wave 5, it could be an extremely bullish sign. Just know this, in the short term, we are approaching to this important resistance area, and even if we get a move down, it's not going to be a problem at all. Why? Because in Near Protocol, beside this scenario, I think we can have another possibility, and it's having starting from the lowest low, let's say this area, and expanding leading diagonal, which looks like this. This is our initial move up into wave 1, correction for wave 2, big move up into wave 3. It has to be bigger than this wave 1, correction for 4, it's going to be bigger than wave 2, and also unlike a normal 5 wave in here, now we must have overlapping of the waves between wave 2 and 4, and this is our final move into wave 5, and it has to be the biggest wave in this structure. And for our sub waves, you know the deal if you are a regular viewer of the main channel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up into wave 1, 3, and 5. Let's change the colors to maybe yellow. Sure. Another 5 into wave 3, and this is our final 5 wave into 5. And for wave 2 and 4, well, okay, it depends. If you want to go 100% according to the rules, then okay, you are only allowed to have ABCs for both of these corrections. Personally, I do like to be a bit flexible with the rules and say maybe in one of these we can have like a WXY, as long as all the other rules are applying to this thing being an expanding leading diag. Now let's go on the live chart and count some waves, and maybe it's best to go on a less busy chart, for example from crypto.com. Let's go on H1. There we go. So here's the thing, between this move on the downside and also this one, as you can see, we do have kind of a slight overlapping of the waves, and that actually opens the door to an expanding leading diag. First things first, your chart should be on regular scale, okay? You should not measure waves on logarithmic scale. This is a very important point to understand. I need everyone to know this, okay? Now, let's measure every single wave one by one and compare it to the others. If this is our supposedly wave 1, I forgot to draw this, excuse me, maybe like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, this has to be the smallest wave. Is it smaller than our wave 3? Absolutely. Is it smaller than wave 5? Definitely. What about our wave 3? So far, we have established it is clearly bigger than wave 1. Now, is it smaller than wave 5 this time or not? Let's measure it. Absolutely yes. And finally, for our correction, is wave 4 bigger than wave 2? Let's measure it from this point to about here. Excuse me. Sorry about that one. And compare it to this wave. The answer is yes, it's definitely bigger. So as you can see, all the rules pretty much do apply to this thing being an expanding leading diag. Now, what's the difference between this possibility and the 1-2 scenario that we talked about at the beginning of the video? Well, here's a very important point. If we are having an expanding leading diag, okay, it means right around here, possibly I would say a bit higher, we are going to complete a 5 wave starting from the lowest low, and what happens after it, even if we are looking bullish and optimistic, you know the deal, we're gonna have a rather deep move on the downside, something like this. But if the 1-2 scenario is happening, okay, that suggests not only from here we're not going to get a deep move on the upside, but also this is actually going to continue for quite some time. And sure, at one point we can absolutely expect a good move down, but that is not going to be the current moment, okay? So what's the point that I'm trying to make? I'm trying to tell you, in near one way or the other, now you are 100% allowed to be much more confident about the bullish possibility being in, and the final low right in here being in already about $1.8. Sure, we can get a move down, but I think there's a very high chance that move is going to be a buy opportunity for us. And I'll be honest with you, usually we are not really that lucky, and there is a chance that the 1-2 scenario is happening, meaning this move is just far from over. So for now, we are looking absolutely bullish in here, and I'm not going to flip bearish as long as I'm not proven otherwise. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in your protocol. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.